We'll return to Alexander the Great following this brief intermission.
This week...
That's Jenny. But that's not Jenny's dad. If she gets into that car, you may be looking at Jenny for the last time. I'm McGruff, the crime dog. Let me show you something. See that playground? A lot of kids there. Every day in this country, 60 kids disappear. Some run away, but a lot are kidnapped by strangers or even by people they know. Almost 20,000 kids a year. 20,000 kids, one kid at a time. Maybe your kid, on your street, just like Jenny. You know, your kids can learn to protect themselves against crime at home, at school, on the street. Hey, nice going, Jenny. She's gonna tell her folks about this. And you can write to McGruff. Learn how to keep your family and your community safe and help take a bite out of crime.
Burton and Frederick March. We'll return to Alexander the Great following this brief intermission.
The Waterbed Center wants to be your center for waterbed savings.
That's why the Waterbed Center has lowered the prices on every item in stock. Beds, sheets, pillows, everything from 40, 50, even 60% off. Complete waterbed starting as low as $129.95. Save $260 on a queen-size Alpine, now $239.95. Plus special closeout savings on the Plush 2, now $199.95.
Old Rip guarantees you'll never pay full retail again at the Waterbed Center.
The Waterbed Center, number 2 West Kennewick Avenue in Kennewick.
Hi, I'm Phil. And I'm Steve. This is Amy. She's looking for a donor for a kidney transplant, and we'd appreciate it if we could find one. But organs aren't all we need. Your generous donations will help all patients throughout the Central Washington State area. All these funds will stay in the Central Washington area to help these patients. So please send your money to the Central Washington Kidney Foundation. Thank you.
KVEW Channel 42, Kennewick.
Alexander the Great will continue on our Saturday Late Show following these brief messages.
2,500 years ago, the Greeks brought forth a system of government dedicated to the proposition that all citizens have equal rights. The landowner, for the very first time in history, met with the common laborer in free debate to resolve the problems of their state. Democracy was born, but it didn't last long. Perhaps because it was taken for granted. Only 200 years, and democracy disappeared from the face of the earth, to reemerge here 21 centuries later. Once again, the strong and the weak, the rich and the poor have an equal voice. For 200 years now, democracy has guided our own lives. Don't let it disappear again. Your vote will strengthen it. Your indifference may kill it.
A message from the Hellenic Heritage Foundation. Please write Democracy, Box 7448, New York 10150.
We return to Alexander the Great, starring Richard Burton and Frederick March. We'll return to Alexander the Great following this brief intermission.
I'm 18 now, so I got to get down to the post office. Post office. I'm special. Selective Service wants my name at the post office. Post office. They're not sending me away. They just might need my help someday. I'm taking the time to fill in the lines for Selective Service. Post office.
If you're a guy about to turn 18, you've got to register with Selective Service. Just go down to your local post office and fill out a card. It's no big deal. You're just adding your name to Selective Service's list.
Don't want to break nobody's law. No. Just got to go down and sign, that's all.
Yeah. Come on down and register. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
So get on down to the post office. Post office.
Continue with Richard Burton and Frederick March, starring in Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great will continue on our Saturday Late Show following these brief messages.
The time it's really here, graduating, anticipating, so many places I things so close to home.
The Army Guard's unique. I'm getting paid to protect my country and my state. What's close to me?
I help guard neighbors and people in my state. I like that.
Best way I know to earn extra money. And my cousin in the Wisconsin Guard feels the same way.
I learn new skills I can use in my regular job.
And all it takes is 2 weeks a year for annual training, then 2 days a month, right near home.
Graduate to guarding all that's close to you. Guarding your country, state, and neighbors. And guarding your future, too. The Guard is America at its best. America at its best.
Call your Army Guard recruiter.
KVEW, Kennewick.
We'll return to Alexander the Great following this brief interview.
There are millions of jobless Americans who are willing to work at any task, but many of them need to be trained for the jobs available. We're asking you to help train them.
There is a landmark new program, the Job Training Partnership Act, that provides compensation to all businesses, large and small, that hire and train the unemployed. This job training program is different from those we've known before. Business has the opportunity to design training to meet its own employment needs. I know that we, as partners, can make it work. The first step is to call your local private industry council. Find out how you can help your business when you put people to work. They want to work. You train them, this program will help pay for it.
And now we continue with Richard Burton and Frederick March, starring in Alexander the Great.